Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Hello, hello, hello. Check, 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 check. Check, check. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of PPR Esports. We are live for round 3 of the Division 1 Xbox Series. We are at the Shanghai circuit tonight in China. I am your host, as always, Besteon, and I am very excited here. We've had a wonderful, wonderful season so far. 2 very, very exciting races to start us off. Going to go ahead and run you through some of the championship standings right now. Today we'll be racing at the Shanghai International Circuit in the People's Republic of China. It's going to be 28 laps and a circuit length of 5.4 kilometers or 3.4 miles. 16 turns, 8 to the right and 8 to the left. Leading off some of our teams here, we've got the Mercedes AMG Petronas team with SF1776 and J. Lee Bowens. So far, they've had a kind of a rough go at it this season. Jay Lee has yet to really find his form, and 1776 has not started a race yet for the Silver Arrows. Moving on to Ferrari, we have King Kirk 67 and Caspita. So far, they've had a bit of a rough go at it as well. 2 DNFs in the season for the team, but hopefully today they'll find their footing. Following them, we have the Red Bull Racing team with Delirious and Ramrod. Also having some trouble finding some traction there, getting stuck in the midfield. There's been a rash of some first lap incidents as well, but we'll get to that later. Up next, we have the McLaren Renault team, and this is featuring Boss Cookie and Run the Jewels. Boss Cookie been on very good form, starting off a season with converting a pole to a win. Run the Jewels having not so much luck yet to find a point this season. Renault, we have Chandler Seda and PPR Nick. Unfortunately, Nick was caught in a lap 1 incident last week in Bahrain, but Chandler Seda has been on fire this season, already having 2 podiums. Toro Rosso with Saxman and ARL Brackish. Qualifying has been very sound for both, and their race form has been very good as well. Both finishing in the points both races. Racing points, we have Andrea Marie and Ed Torona. Very solid form so far and looking to be contenders going into the midway stretch of this first half of the season. Alfa Romeo with Reimer and Loki. Looking pretty good so far. Reimer having a good good second race, finding a 4th in Bahrain. There is no Haas team, unfortunately. And finally, we have the Williams team with a quali form, 2 and a 2 there for B-Dunk in the last race, and Double OT did not race in Bahrain. Finally, this is our driver standings. We have Chandler Seda in first with a lead of 13 points and a tight battle between second, third, and fourth between B-Dunk, Boss Cookie, and Ed. And moving down the rest of the standings, some people looking to score their first points today here in Shanghai. Constructors' Championship, Renault out in the front with only Chandler's points, giving them 43. Toro Rosso and Williams are currently tied for second. McLaren, Renault, and Racing Point very close there in the midfield. And at the very bottom, we have Ferrari, Red Bull, and Mercedes still looking to get on the board. All right, we go live now to the game. Let's ride on board with the cars on an outlap right now. See what we've got. Some cars here on the soft, some on the hard. Probably some drivers looking to get a little bit of practice in before the race gets started. All right. Riding on board with Ed right here. Making the last turn here on the hards. Here we go, on a flyer, into turn 1, through the corkscrew. Doing well to scrub the speed off there. Not getting too aggressive on the throttle. Picking his points very carefully when to accelerate. Into the bottom part of the switchback there. And he's not on a flying lap, excuse me. Riding on board with Delirious here. A little bit of traffic in front of him. Shouldn't be much of a problem. And it looks like we got a little moisture in the air here. Drivers will want to set their times as quickly as possible to avoid getting caught out and having to qualify on the intermediates. King Kirk setting a pole time of 1:32.3. That is your time to beat out there, ladies and gentlemen. Very interesting mix of strategy so far. Some drivers opting for the medium and the hard. Shanghai is notoriously tough on tires, so a one-stop usually is the better strategy, though track position not as important due to the length of the circuit. Delirious getting ready to make his run down the very long 1.5 kilometer long back straight here. A little early into 8th gear there. Shouldn't be too much of a problem heading into the hairpin. Let's see where he picks to brake right before the 100 board. Very smooth to touch the apex there. Into the penultimate corner. Careful not to take too many wheels onto the AstroTurf. Alex Albon found himself in the wall this year at the Chinese Grand Prix as a result. Delirious will do a 1:34.1 there. 1:34.1, putting him in P9. So far, your qualifying order, we have King Kirk in first, followed up by ARL Brackish, and then Boss Cookie in third. In fourth, we have Saxman, then Jay Lee and Andre Marie. The Mercedes drivers putting on a good show so far. And then we have our championship leader, Chandler Sada, down in 7th, looking to fit the medium tire for his next run. Then we have Ed in 8th, PPR, Double OT, and Delirious in 9th and 10th, respectively. Bringing up the rear, we have Loki, Ramrod, and Sahara, and Caspita on his outlap right now. Nick and B-Dunk still in the pit with moisture in the air right now. Folks, we could be in for our first wet race of the year. We will just have to see. Let's ride on board with Caspita now. Starting his outlap before the weather turns a little too nasty. Oh, and he is going to miss that final corner, hoping Williams will get by him. Let's see if he can get this done before the moisture shows up. And starting his lap, let's ride on board. Water whisking by his face mask. Picking his points carefully, and it looks like we have our first retirement from the session with Sahara, setting a 1:35. That will most likely seal his fate. Can't get an eye on him right now, but it looks like he may have crashed out on the back straight. Caspita through the first section here, into the hairpin. Very nice. Smooth on the throttle. Into the fast left-hander. Will he downshift? Nope. Use that engine braking to his benefit. Very carefully picking those points. Don't need to clip the apex as much there. The second one on that left-hander will do the trick. Into a very tight left-right complex before the run onto the back straight. Here he comes. Picking that traction really well. Riding that very on-camber turn. DRS wide open. Here we go. Into the hairpin. Where will he brake? Just after the 100 board. Late on the brakes. Kisses the apex perfectly. Good run out of the final corner there. How will he do? Caspita looking to be on the front row with a 1:32.4. 1:32.4. An excellent lap. So, folks, With the inclement weather inbound, drivers will have to start thinking if they can get out and get a run in before these slick tires will be inoperable. PPR still yet to set a time. Got Boss Cookie on an outlap here. Going for the medium tire. Flying into the corkscrew turn. Keeping it very well planted. Squeezing just enough of the throttle there through the downhill portion. Running into the hairpin. Picking his braking point well. Now trying to gather a lot of speed for the very fast left-hander. That McLaren looking very planted through the high-speed corners. Glad to see a lot of good time has gone into the setup here. Beginning his run into Sector 3. Oh, and he's just run wide there. They may delete the time for that. But he hasn't backed off, so it doesn't seem they have. Flying into the back straight. Using all that camber to his ability. Flying into the hairpin. Where will he brake? Very early on the brakes. Not wanting to miss that corner with the moisture on the ground. Time to beat is a 1:32.3. And he's just invalidated his time. That is tragic. He was on a flyer there. Boss Cookie would have probably just moved up just so if he had gotten that time in. Very unfortunate, very unfortunate. Got B-Dunk on a flyer right now. Getting ready to get started. Here we go, down the pit straight. Up to 206 miles an hour before hitting the brakes. Flying into the corkscrew. So we got some cars stopped on the track just ahead. B-Dunk struggling for traction. Late on the brakes. Short shift there. Get the traction down. Into the left-hander. Will those mediums stay planted? Just so. Oh, he's just missed the apex there. Will that delete his time? No, that won't. Late on the brakes to make up a little time. He may have lost there running wide. Patience on the throttle here. Oh, and he's just a little early on the... No traction. It's just too wet. Not really getting those revs where he needs them if he wants this lap to be an improvement from his 1:33. All the way down to first. Short shift into second. Hard on the power. Picking his turn point. Oh, and he's backed off. That will do it for B-Dunk. Yellow flags all over the place. Drivers just trying to give themselves some clean air. Jay Lee trying to get a move on here. The rain is starting to come down just a little bit harder than before. We've sent a runner down to race control to see about weather. We'll get that information back to you shortly. Chandler Sater retiring from the session. Sat in P8. All right, here we go. Jay Lee Bowens, the rookie for D1, looking to make his mark on the field today. Clean through the turn 1 and 2. Let's see if he can steal one here in this inclement weather. being very gentle with the throttle, not wanting to put himself in the wall. It looks like, has he backed off? Yes, he has. And that'll do it. Well, folks, it doesn't appear any of our drivers will be doing any more laps today with the rain. Your starting order, as it stands, is a Ferrari front row lockout. King, Kirk, and Caspita. Starting behind them will be Brackish and Boss Cookie. Third row, we've got Saxman and, as it stands, J. Lee Bowens, letting Ramrod through there. Then we got Andre Marie and our championship leader, Chandler Seda, in 8th. Followed up by B-Dunk. Then in 10th, we have Double OT, 11th, Ed. 12th and 13th, Delirious and Loki, respectively. Followed up by Ramrod, who's trying to get a flyer in right now, it would appear. And we have Sahara in 15th, and PPR Nick still has not set a time. I'll say both drivers will abandon their laps. Oh, Jay Lee, careful not to beach his car where Lewis Hamilton famously did so many years ago. While we sit here in the pit lane, I can tell you all what the drivers had to say about the last race. Every week before we do these broadcasts, we take some time to sit down with each of the drivers and ask them a couple questions about the previous week. Bahrain had its fair share of drama with safety cars and last lap battles going all the way to the end. Even a tragic puncture by, I believe, let's see here, it was Boss Cookie had a puncture with only 3 laps to go, and it cost him a podium. Ed actually had something to say about that here. Feels like he could have battled with him during the race, but he got caught behind Saxman in the first stint. He was also involved in an incident with Saxman, for which he received a penalty point. And he felt he could overtake him fair on the inside and was entitled to take his line. They banged some wheels, but he believes it was a fair move. Saxman doesn't agree with him, though, so perhaps a little bit of drama brewing there between the Toro Rosso driver and the Racing Point driver, something to watch in today's race. Also asked a couple of the drivers what they thought about the coronavirus. Won't name names, but some had some very, very funny responses. Some had some serious responses. I think my favorite had to be that, look, man, Mexican beer is good. The Chinese are just jealous, and they probably forgot the lime anyway. Well, from the mouth of the horse themselves. Oh, and that'll do it for qualifying here. No drivers opting to do a second run due to the rain. Running down the order, we have King Kurt Caspita, front row lockout. Brackish, Boss Cookie, Saxman, Jay Lee, Andre, Chandler Seda, B-Dunk, Double OT, followed by Ed. And then rounding out the choose your own strategy or adventure positions, we have, Double OT, Ed, Delirious, Loki, Ramrod, and Sahara, and Nick. And Nick has left the session. Well, early retirement, no matter. We press on. Guess you could say that qualifying was a lot like Tiananmen Square because nothing happened. All right, folks, we're getting ready for the formation lap here. And it looks like the weather has cleared up for the race. See an interesting mix of strategies. There are 2 kinds of strategies here. If you go medium to hard, you'll have 2 very long stints. Or you can go soft to a medium to a soft, or a soft medium medium, if you're into that. Or if you really think you can make those soft tires last, you can do a very, very long stint on the hards, though I would not recommend that based on the tire models, since the hard will probably hit their ceiling with a few laps to go, and Boss Cookie did learn the hard way what happens when you push just a little too much on old tires. running through the championship order today, we have quite a bit of drama to look for. A very tight battle between second, third, and fourth. And our championship leaders starting from the back end of the top 10. So look for some of these other drivers to maybe steal a podium and get themselves up the championship order before we head to Azerbaijan next week. Here we go. Riding on board with King Kirk right now. You may see a little weaving on this formation lap, but I don't think the drivers will want to stress those tires out too much. The front lefts especially suffer on this track due to the nature of the tarmac and the compounds. Turn one here, usually a very tenuous experience, as the drivers will be at a very tight right-handed lock. Often you've seen in the past, drivers do get tangled, most notably this past season in the Formula One championship. Daniel Kvyat sent himself into both the McLarens. Nick, can you hear me? Just kidding. Drivers weaving back and forth to get those tires warm. No one getting too bent out of shape on the lap. A lot of drivers probably flipping those brake biases back and forth to get those tires nice and warm. All right. Here we go. Drivers are all set on the grid. Who will be our winner today from Shanghai? And it's lights out, and we're underway here in China. Ferrari's getting off to a good start. Oh, and one of the Red Bulls getting forced onto the grass there. Caspita taking his lead. Boss Cookie up to second now. Brackish falling down the order in fourth. Oh, Caspita's run wide at turn one. Boss Cookie into first, followed by J. Lee Bowens. And now Chandler Seda, our championship leader, up to third. Ferrari's all over the grass. What is going on here? The Banana Boat crew looking to hunt down some cars. Into the second sector. And the flying left-hander, we've got the McLaren in first, followed by the Mercedes J. Lee Bowens, and then Chandler Seda in third. Fourth, we have Errol Brackish, followed by King Kirk and Double OT. Bringing up the rest of the top 10, we have Andre Marie, followed by Caspita, B-Dunk, and Saxman just past Ed. That rivalry's already brewing here in the early stages of this race. Quite the mixed strategy so far. We've got drivers on hards, we've got drivers on mediums, we've got drivers on softs. Flying down the back straight. So far, a clean first lap. No safety car, no incidents to speak of yet. Not too much debris on the track. Lap one down. And we've got, that's your top three right there. The McLaren, the Mercedes, and the Renault flying into turn one. Keeping it nice and tidy. No one really getting out of shape quite yet. These tires are fresh. All of your top 3 runners on 3 different strategies as well, so that is likely to change as time goes on. Chandler trying to set up the move here. Jay Lee struggling for traction out of the corners. Oh, just a little wide there for the Renault. He's looking left, he's looking right. Jay Lee going defensive into the left-right. That Renault is right on his gearbox. Where will Saxman at trade positions yet again? In the slipstream now. Chandler looking to go right. Jay Lee not going defensive quite yet. Flying into the hairpin here. When will he break? Before the 50 board. Touch of a lock up there on the front right. And we've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. Taking a look at our track map. We've got a Red Bull running well at the back. Looks like Ramrod may have spun. Chandler Seda now up to second, trying to chase down Boss Cookie on those beefy mediums. Saxman and Andre Marie just trading positions right now. Let's ride on board with them, see what's going on. We got Loki into the pits, may have had some damage. Fascinating battle brewing here in the midfield. You've got the Racing Point only 2/10 off the Mercedes, who's only 4/10 off of the Toro Rosso. Riding on board now with Ed. The one knock on... Oh, and that is Jay Lee Bowens running wide, trying to rejoin the track. These yellow flags may have been a touch late. Flying into the back straight. Oh, no, and he's just touched the curb a little too much. Saxman looking to make a move on B-Dunk. B-Dunk going defensive. Saxman having a look late on the brakes. Can he get the move done? Ooh, and that's going to be a corner-cutting penalty for the Toro Rosso driver. That hopefully will not come back to bite him later in this race. Chandler Seda with a new fastest lap. Saxman collecting another 3-second time penalty, running wide there on the final turn. B-Dunk looking to go up the inside of Caspita. Not quite getting the move done. Lots of great wheel-to-wheel combat here so far through 4 laps, everybody. Ferrari's absolutely throwing away that front row start, now down in 4th and 6th, respectively. Drivers keeping it real tight through the twisty sections. Unfortunately, that's one of the knocks on this track, is that due to the nature of the corners, it's very difficult for the cars to follow. Oh, and that's a Ferrari, and he spun. Caspita has spun, and he is on the grass, looking to rejoin safely. Man, nothing is going Ferrari's way this year, is it? Now down to 12th for Caspita. Saxman, it's got the DRS on B-Dunk here. B-Dunk going a little defensive. Saxman will take the outside line. B-Dunk just holding it. Saxman getting by. Will he hold it through the last turn? And he's just run wide. He's right on board now with King Kirk. Trying to get a move done here on double OT. Round the outside in turn 1. Holding it well. Those softs just digging into the asphalt. Williams poking his front wing in there just to see if he might feel the pressure. Not the case at all, though. King Kirk holds it well, fighting back here through the front of the field. Double OT looking to make a move up the inside. Can he stick the move into the hairpin? Yes, he's done it. On the power, it's going to be a drag race into the left-hander. Who will have it? Ferrari's got the inside line there. Oh, and he's spun. That is both Ferraris spinning out. King Kirk losing 6 positions on that. Stewards may have a look to see whether or not Double OT left him any room there on the left-hander. Chandler Seda closing up to our race leader now. Only a 4/10 gap. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2, and that is the Mercedes of J. Lee Bowens, stuck on the track. He's gotten going again. Chandler looking for a move. He goes inside. He goes outside. Looking to get him on the cutback, maybe. Boss Cookie getting good traction out of the corner, though. Still holding on to first. Ooh, Boss Cookie just running a touch wide there. That might cost him. Chandler with the DRS. He's trying to stay in that slipstream. Bobbing and weaving. Will he take the inside here? Boss just keeps on the line. Picking your acceleration out here very carefully. Cookie running a little wide there on the exit. Chandler saving up that ERS for a run at him on the back straight. Let's see how he follows him here through the left-hander. We got King Kirk and J. Lee Bowens diving into the pit. Looks like they may have had some damage this early in the race or opting for a new strategy. Expect them to go onto the hard tire. Caspita now down to 14th and J. Lee down to 15th. Very tough for two drivers who were at one point in the podium paying positions. All right, here we go. Chandler on Boss Cookie down the back straight. 81% of that battery saved up. Oh, and a bit of a snap of oversteer. He just saves it, gets it back on the track. But that will cost him dearly in his pursuit of first place. Let's head down and follow Double OT, who's trying to close up on Saxman. The Williams driver stuck in the slipstream here. Saxman going defensive. Not much will come of that move. Oh, a little early on the gas there, and that will cost him about 5/10. Those medium tires not really holding on as long as people thought they would. Ooh, teammate on teammate, wheel to wheel into the corkscrew. Will he let his teammate by? Yes, he will. Not looking to come back at him too strongly as to cost the team constructors points. Andre, Marie, and Ed trading positions. On board with the Racing Point driver, looking to get the cutback done, and he has got the better traction out of the corner. Wheel to wheel into the left-hander. Mercedes has the inside line, and he will take it. Caspita with a new fastest lap of 1:36. Mercedes just parking it on the apex to keep the Racing Point driver behind. Into the back straight we go. Got a nice battle for 5th brewing right here. Now we got a train of slipstream down the back straight here. But it looks like all three drivers will have DRS on one another, keeping it just so. Andre looking to the inside of Double OT. Can he make the move stick? He's locked his fronts, and he will have to concede the position back to Double OT. Mercedes now has the inside line. Will he keep it? Yes, he will not, but has Ed left the track and gained an advantage there? We'll have to send that one to race control. Andre looking inside. Nothing there. Our first and second place cars still trading blows right now. Chandler only 4/10 off the leader. looks like we've got a bit of a battle brewing at the rear of the pack here. Let's head down and check in on them. Got Ramrod following Loki, following Caspita. Let's see if Ramrod will activate the Honda Beat. And Caspita spun it, and he's spun it. He is off the track. It is just not Ferrari's day today. You can hear the moans all the way from Maranello. Ramrod looking to close up to Loki here. Saving his battery through the twisty bits. Stuck in. Oh, and he has spun. What happened there? I didn't see that. We got a yellow flag in Sector 2. If anybody in the YouTube comments has any idea what happened there, I would love some information, because it looks to me like the Ferrari may have punted the Red Bull into the Shadow Realm. Jay Lee passing him now. Ed and Double OT trading positions yet again. Chandler Seda up into first. I didn't even see that. I was so focused on the Ferrari. Two drivers battling it out for the lead. Riding on board with Boss Cookie now. These two drivers looking to be very much our championship contenders. Boss Cookie keeping it tidy through there. Chandler running a bit wide. This is Boss Cookie's chance to come back at him. Has he got enough ERS for that back straight? Just enough into the hairpin, it should be. Chandler doing well there to get Boss Cookie off his rhythm. Going defensive, trying to break that slipstream. Chandler almost all the way to the right. Wheels just grazing the grass. Boss Cookie get the DRS open. In the slipstream. Will he make the move here? Down the inside. Nope. He will concede, and that's going to be... Oh, but Chandler's run wide. Oh! And they've touched. And they've touched. The Renault and the McLaren have touched. Into the pits Chandler goes. Looking for that undercut, maybe. Let's see if ARL or Chandler triggers the first round of stops here. Brackish now moves up into second. Chandler will come out in 6th, I believe. 7th, 8th. Blue flags for Ramrod. Let's go back on board with our race leader. Can he catch the pack now? Some great action. Only 10 laps into this race, and we have a long way to go, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of action. Looking to get some temperature into those tires. We got Ed closing up on Double OT. Both drivers seem to be on the same strategy right now. Those mediums are about, I'd say, 40% of the way through. Take that, AWS. Ed saving up that battery. Kicking it into high on the ERS. Hoping to get a better exit out of the corner here. Double OT running a bit wide onto the AstroTurf there. Ed looking at the inside, and he's got the move done. Can he make it stick down the back straight? Looks like he's done it. Double OT and the Williams and him in a drag race. Down to the hairpin. But Andre Marie... Oh, and that's going to be wing damage. That is wing damage for the Williams driver. He will most likely have to pit there for a new wing. And into the pits he does go. We've got a car running slow on the turn into the back straight. That looks to be Nick? No. Chandler Seda back through the field. He's now up to 8th. Ed and Andre Marie, who were teammates last week, I believe, now in a dogfight here through the middle sector. Keeping it tidy through the twisty bits, not wanting to let that dirty air disturb his wings too much. The run into the right, left, right, excuse me. Late on the brakes. And trying to line up the move right here. Short shifting, trying to get the power down a little earlier. Into 7th. Picking that shift point for 8 carefully. Perfect. Extracting all the power he can out of that Mercedes engine, but he's just not close enough to get the move done this lap. He'll have to settle for a next lap move. Into the pits they both go. Who will come out first? Oh, and Ed's run wide on the pit entrance. He's run wide. Sorry, Andre's run wide. Who will come out first? Racing Point driver serving his penalty. Now out of the pits. And he has jumped the Mercedes. Just so. King Kirk now back up into 8th. Chandler Seda now up into 5th. Will he catch his rival, Boss Cookie, on this next stint? Riding on board with the Ferrari driver, King Kirk, rocking a very slick Mamba helmet and the number 24. R.I.P. Kobe. Of course, some of the drivers today were worried about the coronavirus, but after all, this is a video game, so there's no actual risk for disease. So those of you wondering at home if we should be worried, have no fears. Unless, of course, anyone's eating any bat soup, which I would not recommend. Just as your friendly neighborhood announcer. Caspita making a move there on Loki. Ferrari drivers trying to battle back through. B-Dunk making a move on Brackish there. Brackish dives into the pits, likely going onto the hard tire here. Andre Marie trying to close up on double OT. These two have been going at it all afternoon. Chandler Seda now up to 4th place. Putting in some blistering times on those hard tires. We've got Loki closing up on Caspita. J. Bowen's making a move on Sahara. Saxman trying to close up on his teammate Brackish. J. Bowen's and Sahara trade places again. Oh, and that is Sahara. He's spun it. He has spun it. A very unfortunate thing about that AstroTurf is it can put you on your butt. Chandler Seda now. Oh, and the Williams has just run wide. Double OT has run wide, and that should release Andre Marie to try and chase down King Kirk. Chandler Seda now up into 3rd. Getting the move done on Delirious there. Delirious yet to stop on those hard tires. He's right on board with the championship leader now. Who's just at a purple sector 3. Delirious hot on his tail. Probably not much he can do to answer. And there you have it, folks. You've got your top 3 having moved up respectively 3, 7, and 5 positions. Delirious, unfortunately, still has not pitted. He will likely tumble back down the order when the time comes. Going on board with Saxman now. The two Toro Rossos having a bit of a back and forth here. B-Dunk and Boss Cookie have yet to make a stop. Let's see if he can close up here on the back straight. He's got plenty of battery to burn. He's in the slipstream. There he is. Brackish not looking to go defensive quite yet. As you know, Saxman is pretty far back. Late on the brakes. Oh, a touch of a lock up there from Brackish. Good not to run wide on the exit, though. Into the final corner. No surprise, your top three in the championship or your top three in the race. Saxman's got the move done on Brackish with DRS. Flying into turn one. Showing no caution. He is now free to try and chase down Delirious, who will have to pit. Chandler Seda looking like he has made the strategy work a treat. Now only 3 seconds behind his championship rival, B-Dunk, and he's already made his stop. Good on these two teammates to not get too argy-bargy with one another. Running through your order one more time, we have Boss Cookie and B-Dunk and Chandler Seda in your podium paying positions, followed by Delirious, Saxman, and Brackish. Then in 7th, we have Ed, followed by King Kirk. 9th, we have Andre Marie. 10th, Double OT. 11th is Caspita. 12th, Loki. 13th, we've got the rookie, Jay Lee, followed by Sahara, whose first race of the year. And Ramrod has got the move done on him since he's dove into the pits. And Nick, who I don't actually believe is on track right now, but there you have it, folks. Delirious getting the move done on... Not getting any move done because B-Dunk's into the pits for his first stop. Will this Williams crew get him out? Is he AFK? B-Dunk taking a long time to exit the pits there. Costing him valuable time. He's going to come out in 8th place there. And he will want to make those mediums go to the end. Interesting to see which strategy will have paid off, going hard medium or medium hard. It's a lot like my dating life. All right. On board with B-Dunk here, looking to chase down King Kirk. MRC Loki looking to chase down Caspita, and Brackish still on his teammate. Those two trading positions back and forth pretty regularly this race. Right on board with B-Dunk here. Just tries to set up the move. Got that battery nice and charged up. Ferrari driver braking a little early there. Taking a tight line through that apex. Now the on-camber run onto the back straight. B-Dunk taking an inside line there, looking to maybe drive the car with a little extra momentum. And he's got the move done without DRS, flying by on those fresh, beefy mediums. Into the hairpin, the Ferrari driver looking to come back at him. Nothing there for the Ferrari driver. King Kirk will have to concede the position. B-Dunk up to 7th. Looking to chase down his championship rival, Chandler. Boss Cookie still out on those hard tires. Maybe looking to go on the softs at the end. Purple sector for B-Dunk there. Oof, the Ferrari rear end just getting a little loose, loosey-goosey. He will fall out of the DRS range there. Brackish and Saxman still going back and forth. Not much changing here between these two drivers. Most likely looking to protect their points-paying positions and bring the cars home. I know if I were their boss, I'd feel that way as well. Loki within 5/10 of Caspita. A lot of action to the first 10 laps, and with all the strategy, it looks like we will be settling into these positions for a while now. Got a yellow flag in Sector 2. Is that the Alfa Romeo that stopped on the track? Yes. Looks like Loki may have lost the car there. Boss Cookie finally into the pits. Where will he come out? Not bad. Coming out in third with a gap of about 10 seconds to Chandler Seda. McLaren driver and the Renault driver will likely be dueling it out in the final stages of this race. King Kirk into the pits, likely making his last stop of the day. Boss Cookie closing up on Delirious. And that move is done. No harm, no foul, no stress. So now you've got Chandler Seda and Boss Cookie in the lead here. Boss Cookie will be moving up. If we're doing a live championship standings, this would put him in with, unfortunately, this PowerPoint, I can't see the scores. That's unfortunate. But yeah, the gist of it is, right now, Chandler can pull out a very, very large championship lead over B-Dunk if these results hold. Let's see. Only driver not to make a stop, Delirious, who's been out on those hards what feels like an eternity. This is your gap to the leader. You lose about 28 to 30 seconds in the pits here, so Delirious would probably come out in 8th or 9th by my calculations. So he's done well to take care of those tires, but he will want to pit soon, otherwise he may not see, or rather he will see much greater diminishing returns. Chandler Seda 7 seconds out in first, but Boss Cookie is chasing him down right now. Field spread really taking its toll at this stage in the race. And I gotta say, Boss Cookie said in his pre-race interview that he wanted to have a good qualifying lap on the mediums for the easy one stop. And it looks like he's worked that a treat. And, well, he was hoping to not catch the coronavirus, so I think he'll be okay in that sense. So far, he has executed on both of his wishes for the weekend. That gap now down to 7 4/10. Brackish and Saxman, multi-45 there. Just looking to keep the cars in one piece and keep Ed behind them. B-Dunk now closing up on Ed. Right on board with him. And he's got the move done into turn 1. Racing Point driver conceding into that turn. Blue flags for Sahara there. He'll have to let the Williams driver by. Very mixed strategies today. Very mixed strategies indeed. Looking like the runners who started on softs have not had the greatest of runs. Loki diving into the pits. Let's see, is that his... That'd be his first stop of the race. Lucky for him, Caspita and Ramrod have each had to make 2 stops, so he's got a pretty cushy gap there. Ed staying within that DRS through the detection zone. Can he close up on B-Dunk down the back straight? We will see now. He's got battery to burn, hitting that overtake mode. But unfortunately, B-Dunk is just too far in front for him to get the move done late on the brakes. Touch of a lock up there. Boss Cookie now got that gap down to 6 5/10, keeping a close eye on that, ladies and gentlemen, because we may have ourselves yet another fantastic last lap battle here in Shanghai. Delirious still out on the hards. He is likely to come out now in 7th. The overcut, working a treat for him. He will be a very happy bunny if he can execute on that strategy. Ed not letting up on B-Dunk here. Boss Cookie got it down to 6 seconds now. 7 laps to close up. If only I had Jeff handy to tell me if he'll get the move done or not. Late on the brakes for Ed. Not doing well to get that battery nice and charged up for a run here. Only got about a third of it to go, and he's already burning it off down the first bit of the straight here. And it looks like B-Dunk will pull out that lead well. Saxman closing up on Delirious. Brackish closing up on Saxman. The Red Bull driver going the distance on those hards. Yep, and that move will be done. No problem there. Delirious likely will pit after this lap. A bit of contact there, nothing too ridiculous. But Delirious giving that slipstream to Brackish. Help him maybe save his tires a little bit. Those hards are cooked through, no doubt. "21 laps on the hards." I'm pretty sure he's only got 2 or 3 left before they go pop. Brackish stuck in Delirious's dirty air. I'm not doing him any favors. I take back what I said before. But, oh, we got a yellow flag, and that looks to be a Ferrari going slow. And that move will get done, no problem. Boss Cookie, 5 seconds back, and 8/10 on Chandler Seda. Delirious should just be diving into the pits here. Yep. B-Dunk is being served a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. I wonder, will that have any effect on his finishing position in this race? Yes, it will. If Ed can keep that gap just within that 3-second window, he is on for a 5th place finish. Going on to the softs for a 5-lap dash. Delirious going to come out in 9th. He will probably close up to double OT in due time. For now, let's ride along with Boss Cookie. Putting everything in to try and catch the Renault driver. His mediums got plenty of life left in them. I'd estimate in 3 laps' time he'd be within striking distance based on nothing but intuition. Loki being served another time penalty for corner cutting. Have Boss Cookie's lap time there for you guys. We have a yellow flag in Sector 3. And it looks like Loki has retired from the race. That'll be a DNF for the Alfa Romeo driver. We'll promote Ramrod, Sahara, and, well, not Nick, up a position. Sorry, Nick. Boss Cookie's got Chandler in his sights. Never say never. The Renault driver still could make a mistake at this stage of the race, though it is doubtful. And Sahara's been served a 5-second time penalty for ignoring blue flags, though I doubt that will have much effect on the end of this race. Boss Cookie now down to a 5-second gap, 4 laps to go. Doing everything he can to try and catch up. B-Dunk actually is the defending champion at this circuit from last season, but it does not look like he's made the strategy work to his favor. Boss Cookie now down to 5 2/10. Can he bring it down sub 5 seconds gap here? He is pushing every last bit of that McLaren to try and get it done. Running through your order one more time, we have Chandler, Seda in first, followed by Boss Cookie in second. The pair of Toro Rossos in third and fourth, Saxman and Brackish respectively. New fastest lap set by PPR Delirious as a 1:34.1. Then in fifth, we have B-Dunk, followed by Ed and Andre Marie. Eighth, we have Double OT, followed by Delirious. Then we have King Kirk in 10th, followed by J. Lee Bowens, followed by Caspita, then Ramrod. And bringing up the rear, we have LMR Sahara in the Haas car. B-Dunk now closing up to the Toro Rosso pair on those beefy mediums. Ramrod getting in the way, though. Ooh. Blue flags. Blue flags, Ramrod. Gonna need to get out of the way here of the Williams. No matter. He'll ride that slipstream all the way. Now he's got the DRS. Where will he brake? Red Bull trying to go unlap himself late on the brakes there. Would be a shame for any Esteban Ocon-esque incidents to happen at this stage. And Delirious has got the move done on Double OT. Those slick softs coming in handy in the later stages of this race. Working his strategy to the best of his abilities. Oh, his Brackish just run a little wide there. B-Dunk smells an opportunity, and he is going to take it. Look for a dive into the next hairpin. Good traction out of the corner. Will Brackish go defensive? Yes, he will. Holding his position. The Williams driver looking to save that battery up, maybe for a dive at him on the back straight. To the fast left-hander. Both drivers keeping it nice and tidy there. Brackish using a heap of curb. Into the double left. Brackish just parking on that apex. Not trying to let B-Dunk make any more ground. B-Dunk fighting for championship position here. Trying to stay in the fight with Chandler Seda. Boss Cookie now below a 5-second gap to the leader. Done well to close up. Brackish not going defensive, trying to break the slipstream. B-Dunk with the DRS. He's got the move on him. That should be open and shut case into the hairpin. Where will they break? Toro Rosso looking to get the cutback done, and it looks like B-Dunk's got the move in the bag. Well, the inside line into the pit straight. Sayonara. Oh, but Brackish is coming back at him with the DRS. And just not enough to get the move done. B-Dunk defending that inside position through the corkscrew. And he stayed in front. Unfortunately, folks, it looks like Boss Cookie's challenge for first has topped out. He is now back into the low fives. That will probably do it for them. Delirious looking to close up on Andre Marie. Those softs flying through the field. How will the Mercedes driver defend his position with only 2 laps to go? That dirty air will scrub a lot of life out of those tires. Luckily, those softs still have plenty of life left. He's got a lot of battery saved up, late on the brakes. Picking his acceleration very carefully through the right-hander. Kissing that inside line. Riding the bull, trying to stay in the slipstream of Andre Marie. Marie bobbing and weaving, looking to break the slipstream any way he can. Delirious has got the DRS. Can he close up just enough? I don't believe he will have it. Late on the brakes into the hairpin. Revving real high, trying to get as much speed as he can out of the exit. DRS again down the pit straight. Not much Marie can really do about that, having to pick his line very carefully through the corkscrew. And it looks like he's run a little wide there on the entrance, and he's run very wide. Will this be the move for Delirious? No, Andre Marie comes back on to the racing line, swiping across. He is not giving up yet. Going defensive into the hairpin here. Delirious had to think. He thought not. Now we're going side by side into the left-hander. Where will the drivers come out? And the Red Bulls just pulled ahead. Delirious with a very, very aggressive strategy going from the hards to the softs at the end here. Has now made up 3 positions. And is leading Andre Marie into the final lap. And your race winner is Chandler Seda. Managed to hold his lead. The medium to the hard strategy being the one to beat. Andre Marie hoping for a last-ditch effort down the back straight here. He's in the slipstream. He's got the DRS. That gas tank is empty. Overtake mode engaged. Delirious not going defensive. Oh! Just a little move there. Will they have him on the cutback? And he's got the move done. He's got the move done. Marie into the final turn. Will he hold it? The Red Bull driver. Oh, just a look. It's not enough. Delirious not getting that strategy done. What a finish between the Red Bull and the Mercedes. Very, very scintillating stuff in the final stages of this race. Well, there you have it, folks. Your finishing order so far. We have Chandler Seda in first, followed by Boss Cookie. In third, we have Brackish, followed by B-Dunk, followed by Ed. In sixth, we have Saxman, followed by Andre Marie with that ballsy dive bomb into the hairpin. And then we have Double OT, followed by King Kirk. Delirious, unfortunately, being knocked down back to 10th with those penalties he accrued earlier in the race. And now he's out of the points. All right, folks. Take a look at your final race order here. Congratulations to Chandler and Boss Cookie making the podium. I do believe that is... Oh my God, is that Saxman or is that Brackish? Well, no matter. Congratulations to our 3 podium drivers. Made that race work a treat. Well done. Renault extends their lead in the championship now. They will be up to I believe a 68-point lead. There's your finishing order, folks. That was Brackish on the podium. Both Ferraris from the front row, unfortunately, barely finishing in the points for Kirk and Caspetta just outside. Grid position not meaning much today. So many mixed strategies due to the wet qualifying. But that will do it here from Shanghai. As always, I am your host, Best Taeyeon. Thank you for joining us for another edition of PPR Esports Division 1 Xbox. We'll be back at the same time next week, live from Baku in Azerbaijan for the first street race of the season, a race of attrition usually. Folks, that will be a very, very exciting one to watch. I, for one, cannot wait. As always, stay classy and enjoy the rest of your evening.